Hi friends, welcome everybody. This is a series of our free medical coding training offered by Dr. Ram's Medical Coding Academy. Today, our class is going to be about the medical terminology. Well, before we commence with the terminology of medicine, we need to know what a terminology is. A terminology is a Latin word, It's made up of two Latin words, terminus plus logos, which means a study of words. So we mean like terminology, it is a specialized group of words which takes place in any particular field of interest. Say for example, in the case of engineering, we have terminologies. Same is the case with medicine. So it's all about medical terminologies. So we need to know what is a medical. Medical is a word which is an adjective form of the word medicine. So medicine as a noun has its adjective which is medical. So this word medicine is also derived from the Latin word medicus, meaning a physician. Okay, so let's get down with the topic. The medical terminology, as we have already discussed, it's not just plain English, It is a mixture of various languages. Predominantly, the Greek language takes its own place because almost like 70% of these medical words are of Greek origin, followed by Latin and then by French and then by Italian and some Spanish words too. So it's not that all English. So what we are going to do is we are going to learn those Greek, Latin, Italian and French words. So as you all know, it is a Greek who actually classified the medical literature and they maintained it. And one specialty about the Greek language is that it has compound words. These compound words help us to coin any different kinds of terminologies. Whenever you find like any new onset of diseases, it helps us to coin such words. So as a specialty of these compound words in Greek, it is easy for scientists to coin new words with the help of these words. And while talking about these Greek words, especially the clinical pathological terms, there are so many words that have derived its root from the Greek language, especially in the pathological discipline. Whereas Latin has its own place in naming the organs, which means the anatomic nomenclature. Say for example, if it's going to be a bone of thigh, which is a femur, so femur is derived from the Latin word. Whereas if you talk about a disease or a condition like a nosocomial infection, nosocomus becomes a Greek word. So towards diseases, Greek words predominate, and towards naming, we have the Latin words that predominate. The next question arises, what is a need or why we have to learn these medical terminologies? As we have already said, these terminologies are the building blocks in any specialties. So take for instance a language, your vocabulary, the amount of words that enrich your knowledge of that particular language. Same way, the n number of medical terminologies that so that helps you to learn and to master this language of medicine also. Because we have medical professionals and health professionals who are involved in the diagnosis, prognosis, treatment of patients. So at that time, doctors have to communicate, clinicians have to talk with each other. So they will have to arrive at the treatment protocol for these patients. So they will communicate with each other in a common platform, which is by way of these medical terminologies. That shows the degree of professionalism and the enrichment of the language that they has. So the first step to being a very good coder is you need to master these entire vocabularies, which is a medical terminologies. Another thing, it is not that the medical coder alone has to master these vocabularies. Take for instance, a layman has to understand these vocabularies because it gives you an idea of how medicine operates and what our doctor is prescribing for us. So it's you will come to know about the field because medicine as we think, it cannot be separated from our life. So with that, we are ending the need for medical terminologies. The more and more terminologies that you learn and you grasp, the more and more knowledge you can certainly acquire. When we think of a word, so we say this terminology is about words, they explain the words. A word in a medical parlance is made up of three parts. The first one we would call that as a prefix, the middle one as a root, and thirdly we have the suffix. So a word in a medical terminology can be broken down into three parts: the prefix, the root word, and then the suffix. Now the rule is, what is a rule? The rule is you will have to break down the word. If you want to enrich your proficiency in the language of medicine, it's highly recommended that you start learning these terminologies and keep upgrading on these. Because when you are going to encounter new and new medical reports and medical records, you will be encountering such new words. If you want to comprehend those words, and sometimes even while picking at the correct diagnosis code in the ICD-10 manual, or in order to figure out a procedure to understand what the procedure is all about, if you know these terminologies, it would be immensely helpful to you, because this definitely influences your code selection as well. Okay, so the knowledge of medicine is on par with the knowledge of these medical terminologies, how you are going to expand your scope of these vocabularies. This is one thing that is being commonly talked about medicine. They say we don't understand the terms the doctor used. He was talking about one particular procedure which we couldn't understand. Sometimes we don't decipher what the doctor even writes, right? Okay, this is a common mindset about doctors and its profession. The secret is nothing but these medical terminologies. If you start learning this step by step, I think the entire secret would be unraveled. So let's see what is a basic rule in order to identify and comprehend these medical terminologies. The rule is very simple, that is breakdown. You will have to split and break down each syllable or word that you encounter, because you can split the word into various components, and when you are able to arrive at the meaning of these components, then certainly you can figure out what that terminology means. Okay, so rule number one is break it down. Second, understand each of these components. If you don't know any part of it, you will have to search, and then thirdly, you will figure out what exactly this terminology means. The first part of any terminology can be classified or can be taken as a prefix. Prefix, the word itself indicates that it is being fixed prior, in the front. So this is a beginning of the word. Sometimes you can identify this by the presence of a hyphen. So you will have a prefix, a term with a hyphen followed by the main word, which is a root. The prefixes are describing terms. It could talk about anything. It can talk about size, a shape, a location, direction, or sometimes a movement. So it can talk about anything. It describes something about the main word or the root word. It modifies a root word. It talks about the root word. It's kind of an adjective. So it describes more about the root word. When we talk about the word as suprarenal, the word renal means a kidney. When I say as a supra, it means something above, superior. So now this is pertaining to something that lies on top of the kidney. You need to figure out what the physician is trying to explain to us. So there are as many prefixes. We will be visiting all of these prefixes, chapter wise, and of course organ wise, system wise. We have prefixes for colors, prefixes for numbers, prefixes for size, for shape. So all of this you need to understand. If you can master the meaning of all of these prefixes, then certainly your knowledge, your vocabulary in this terminology will definitely enhance. Here you can understand and split the word as an, iso, cyto, cis. Okay, this is how you will have to break the word. I repeat, an plus iso plus cyto plus cis. Now I hope you understand how you have to split it. And then you find here, it's there will be a combination vowel. Sometimes, most of the time, the vowel O is placed in between these terms so that you can coin a term. Finally, the rules are clear. Break down the word, understand each component, and see the vowel component. Prefixes are modifying terms. Let's look at some of the description that it offers. Okay. So first, we said like numbers. It's like prefixes determine the numbers. Take for instance as a monocyte. Mono meaning single, means one. Here cyte means a cell. So a monocyte, this is a kind of a white blood cell. Next, coming to amount, hypertension. So the root word here is tension, and hyper is something which is in excess or over. See, when you have the root word as tension, we can also coin this way as normotension, meaning here the tension that we are referring to is pressure. So when I say as hypertension, the patient has excessive blood pressure. If it is normotension, the patient has a normal level of pressure. In case the patient has a lowered blood pressure, we would determine that as hypotension. So you can see the root word remains the same, whereas the prefixes alter the meaning by way of its prefixes as hyper or normo or hypo. Let's go to the next thing, which is location. I said like suprarenal. Supra here refers to a position above. If we want to say anything like below, we can say that as sub or infra. So I would say like infrarenal artery means this artery lies beneath the kidneys or beneath the renal artery. Next is movement, which shows like a dislocation. It tells you like this particular structure has dislocated. That means it is out of its original position. Prefixes determine the direction. So I would say like contralateral. Contra means opposite. Lateral means side. So it says the opposite side. Same way we have prefixes for size, shape, speed, etc. Say megalomania. Here megalo is a prefix. Coming to shape, we discussed earlier, which is anisocytosis. Aniso means unequal. An unequal, a cell with an unequal shape. Next, speed. Something, a prefix that talks about the speed. Say, we can talk about the heart rate here. Tachycardia, where heart beats at the rate of 72 beats per minute. But what happens in a tachycardia? The heartbeat goes beyond 100. Same way, let me take another word, which is bradycardia. Here, cardia is a root word, whereas tachy and brady, these modify the actual functioning of the heart. In a bradycardia, what happens is the heart rate goes less than 65. Next comes the root. The root actually means a core word, or it is a subject, or it is a main word. This word will be modified by the prefix. Most of the time, this can be an organ. Say for example, I say thyromegaly. Here, the word thyro is a root word and megaly is a suffix. So it is a root word or the subject that is most important or that is of concern to us. The medical terminology is being coined, or this is trying to explain more about this root word. So the root word most of the time remains unchanged. With the prefix and the suffix, the medical term is coined. Next, we are going to see another part of it, which is the ending portion of the word, which is the suffix. So suffix talks about the procedure or condition or disease. You can identify a suffix, this syllable or this group of words is attached at the end of a word, and you can figure out after a hyphen. In a suffix, it is a hyphenated word and the suffix follows the hyphen. Take for instance, thoracentesis. This is a medical word. Here thorax actually means thorax, which is a region of the body that lies beneath the neck and above the diaphragm. Centesis meaning to aspirate, to suck in, to draw out a fluid. So it is a medical procedure in which the physician is going to draw the excess of fluid in the thoracic cavity. Thorax is a root word and centesis is a suffix. It can also indicate a disease state like itis. Itis, this is a suffix to indicate the tissue has been inflamed. We will talk about inflammation later on because that is a topic which we want to discuss completely. You can have the name of the organ and add itis, and finally that shows that particular organ is inflamed. So itis means inflammation of that particular tissue. Take for instance, if there is inflammation of stomach, we can denote that as gastro plus itis as gastritis. I'm going to give you some more example of these prefixes and suffixes. Let's see this example, which is hyperglycemia. So if you want to know what is the meaning of the word hyperglycemia, come on, let's break it down. I can break the word into three parts as hyper, glyco, and emia. When you see hyper, it is a prefix which means over. Glyco is a root word which means glucose, and emia, which is a suffix, it shows in blood. So what happens? Hyperglycemia literally means the condition of excessive glucose level in the blood. I hope now you can understand easily how a medical terminology is now being coined and how you can decipher what that term actually means. Now let's go to a common procedure that's being done by a gastroenterologist, EGD. Imagine you find this word EGD in your medical record. You need to know what it is. Esophagogastroduodenoscopy. So that is the expansion of the word EGD or the abbreviation EGD. So I'm going to break it down as esophago plus gastro plus duodeno plus scopy. So esophago is nothing but the gullet or the food pipe, and gastro is the stomach, duodeno is the intestine, and scopy meaning to visualize or to observe. So the physician passes a tube inside the oral cavity, and this tube extends till the level of the first part of the small intestine, which is the duodenum, and the physician observes the changes that have taken place in the GI tract. So EGD, so I think this is helpful how you can figure out and break down the word into its various components. Here are some examples which I want you to break it down now. Let's see, it's dermatology. So how do you break it down? We can break down this as dermato plus logos. Hypothyroidism. Hypo plus thyroidism. Splenomegaly. Spleen plus megaly. Now if we want to know the meaning of all these, dermatoplasmology, it is a study or the branch of medicine that deals with the diseases of skin. Hypothyroidism, here you should know hypo plus thyroid, it talks about the condition in which there is diminished function of the thyroid gland. Hypo plus thyroid plus ism. Ism again means a condition. Splenomegaly. Megaly means enlargement, where there is enlargement of the spleen. Now at this context, I want you to know about something about these, like we have something called like epidemic, endemic and pandemic. Let's see how we can break down these medical terms. Epidemic, you can divide it as epi plus demos. I hope you know what a demos mean. Demo means people. Epi plus demos. So the word or the prefix epi means upon or near. That means this particular disease is present in a population. It could be a sudden attack of an epidemic. Next is endemic. Here we can break it down as n plus demos. So n meaning within. That means the disease is always prevalent in this particular group of people. Take for instance malaria. It is always present in marshy places. So we say it's mal area as malaria or the foul odor. Next is pandemic. Here pan means all plus demos. So all demos here. So the disease is present in all over. So I hope you can understand the meaning of the words epidemic, endemic and pandemic just by breaking down and splitting all those into various components and then figuring out what they actually mean. Now I have a quick question for you. It's like, now tell me, is this coronavirus infection an epidemic, endemic or a pandemic? If you have the right answer or sometimes even the incorrect answer, that's fine. Please post your answers in our comment section and let's see how much you have grasped this session on these medical terminologies. Again, I want to mention that medical terminologies cannot be just taken as one session. So we will be having a series of sessions on terminologies alone. We will see it under various subtopics. So before that, kindly make a note of all of these so that you can understand all of these simple things. As we know, small things make a perfection, but perfection is never a small thing. We have come to the concluding portion of our session. So if you have any thoughts, please comment. And if you're a first timer, please subscribe our videos and share to your friends. And lastly, I would like to mention that the portion that we are covering under this basic medical terminology is also covered under this NEET syllabus for biology. So if you have any students or friends or relatives, please request them to subscribe and share these videos because this would certainly help them and this would cover the biology portion of their NEET as well. And this could in turn definitely help them if at all they have the dream of becoming a doctor. Thank you so much and we will see you in our next session.
Learn medical coding from Dr. Ram's Medical Coding Academy. You can contact us at 805-60-855-96-9962-791072. Thanks for watching. Please watch, like and subscribe our YouTube channel.